Today, we're diving into a big question, one that honestly might sound a little too good to be true. Could voice AI actually be the end of waiting on hold for good?
You know the feeling. We've all been there, right? You're stuck listening to that terrible hold music, the minutes just ticking away, all because you have one simple question. It's this universal frustration that's really at the heart of the problem with customer support today.
So, how did we even get here? Well, this whole gridlock is basically a huge disconnect between what we, the customers, have come to expect and what support teams can possibly deliver.
I mean, look at this list. On their own, these things seem totally reasonable, right? We want fast answers, we want them 24/7, and we don't want to wait. The issue is, when you multiply that by millions of people all at once, well, a human-only system just can't keep up. It's bound to break. And this is the inevitable result. Every single simple question has to go through a person, and the system just gets completely overwhelmed. It's a recipe for frustration on both ends. For us waiting in the queue, and for the agents who are just trying to tread water.
Okay, but what if the first person you talked to wasn't a person at all? This is where a whole new approach to automation comes in, and it's designed specifically to break this cycle. Let's dig into what that actually looks like.
Meet Voice AI. And it's important to know, this isn't some general-purpose assistant. In this context, it's a specialist. Think of it like a first line of defense, a tool built to do one thing really well. Handle all those predictable, repetitive requests.
So here's the million-dollar question. Why this technology? What makes voice AI so perfectly suited to solve this specific, annoying problem of customer support queues?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. A massive chunk of the reasons we call customer support falls into one of these buckets. These are predictable tasks. They take up a ton of time, but they don't really need deep, creative, human problem solving. And that makes them the perfect candidates for automation. Now, this tech doesn't just chip away at the problem, it completely rewires the whole process. It fundamentally changes the experience from the very second you make that call.
And this comparison just lays it all out. On the left, that's the world we all know. Wait, explain, get an answer, hang up frustrated. But look at the right. The AI answers instantly, figures out what you need, and either solves it right there or, and this is key, sends you to the right human with all the context so you don't have to repeat yourself.
Let's just walk through that new flow. Step 1, your call gets answered immediately. No waiting. The AI listens and understands why you're calling. If it's something simple, boom, it's resolved. If it's more complex, you get routed to the perfect person to help, and they already know your story. It even handles follow-ups, like sending a confirmation email. It's a smarter, hybrid system.
So, what can it do in the real world? Let's run through a few examples. For any business that relies on appointments, this is a total game changer. It can handle all the booking, rescheduling, and canceling, all without a human having to touch the calendar.
Or for any online store, this is huge. The classic, "Where's my package?" question gets answered instantly, which frees up agents from answering that same question hundreds of times a day.
It can even act as a first line of tech support, walking you through the simple stuff like, have you tried turning it off and on again? This keeps the real tech experts free for the really tough problems.
And here's the kicker. It never clocks out. It's there, ready to answer questions and take messages 24/7, even when the entire human team is at home asleep.
Now, this isn't just some futuristic idea. It's already happening right now, across all sorts of industries, solving very real, specific problems.
Just take a look. In healthcare, it's doing appointment reminders. For home services, it's figuring out if your leaky pipe is a call now emergency or a schedule for tomorrow problem. In finance, it's explaining basic policy details. Each one is a specific, high-volume task that's now automated, freeing up the human experts to do the work that really matters.
So, when you zoom out and look at the big picture, what's the real impact of all this? Well, it creates a way better system for everyone. The company, the employees, and most importantly, for you, the customer.
First things first, and this is the most obvious win for us. That bar on the left, that's the old way. The tiny one on the right, that's with AI. Wait time, the #1 source of frustration, practically vanishes.
Now, what about for the support agents themselves? Their job is totally transformed. Instead of spending all day answering the same 5 questions again and again, they get to be real problem solvers. Their time shifts from handling high volume to handling high-value, complex issues that actually need their expertise.
So, the takeaways are pretty clear. You end up with a team that's less burned out and more effective. The business runs more efficiently.
The information customers get is always consistent and accurate. And all of that adds up to happier customers who are more likely to stick around. It's really a win-win-win. I think this quote really just nails the whole idea. This was never about getting rid of humans. It's about being smarter, letting technology do what it's good at, the repetitive stuff, so that people can focus on what they're good at: connection, empathy, and complex problem solving.
And really, that's the thought I want to leave you with. The goal here isn't replacement, it's empowerment. By automating the boring stuff, we're not just fixing customer support, we're unlocking a massive amount of human potential. And thinking about what we can do with that, well, that's the most exciting part of this whole story.